For all things great iron and hard top, it's Kevlu and Since the Sandbox.
Since the Sandbox podcast and YouTube fans, what's going on? It's your favorite host, Steve. I'm back with another episode, another Monday of Since the Sandbox rundowns. And wow, what a weekend was it. This might have been the best weekend in football I've ever seen in my entire life. The Bills-Chiefs game specifically might have been the best football game I've ever seen. But today, we're actually going to be jumping in with our positional top 10 rankings starting on the defensive side. Now, first, before I go into those rankings, we are going to do every single position, starting at the safety position, going all the way to quarterback. So make sure you guys stay tuned for what that's going to look like. But first, I got to shout out my guy, Anthony in Medford, changing the podcast game, going out to all these high schools, giving these kids, these student athletes a highlight, really something to look forward to, and showing the greatness that all the coaches and organizations do. So shout out to my guy Anthony. Go check out what he does with the Beyond podcast. Anthony was repping some Born and Raised in Eastie merch last week, so you know I have to come out here and represent for my boy Anthony. Now we're going to get into the positional top 10 rankings, starting with the safety position. Now look, this is just based on this previous season. This is not counting the postseason. This is just counting the regular season. Let's get into it. There's no bias in this. I am starting number 10 with the Giants, Xavier McKinney, and you guys could say, whoa, the Giants have a good defender? Look, I get it. There's a lot of mess going on with the Giants, but Xavier McKinney is a stud. He's a second-round pick from Alabama. Starting to piece together that Giants defense, having him there, learning from Logan Ryan, having James Bradbury. You know, the team's not good. The secondary's kind of solid. Hopefully with a new GM, new coach, we can really get things going in the right direction. At 9, I have one of the two pairs, and I think that this is the only pair of safeties I have on here. You have to give them the respect. What a game they played yesterday. Micah Hyde here at 9. You guys can kind of play where you want to have Micah Hyde or Jordan Poyer. Little hint, Jordan Poyer is on the list. At 8, I do have Harrison Smith. I feel like we've been talking about Harrison Smith's name at the safety position for years. He's just been so solid, so consistent. Harrison Smith is the heart of that Vikings defense. At 7, I have Jordan Poyer. Now look, Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde can be the best safety tandem in all of football. Would like to see the Bills take some more steps next year, add a couple more pass rushers, and the sky's the limit for that team. We saw what happened with that Chiefs game. 13 seconds, Patrick Mahomes does the impossible. Now look, I'm just a podcaster, but if you're asking my opinion, Sean McDermott with 13 seconds left, you have to kick that ball inbounds, take as much time off the clock as you possibly can. At the 25, 13 seconds is still pretty impossible to get to field goal range. It happened. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's the Chiefs. Got to make an adjustment next time. Kick that ball inbounds. At 6, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Minkah Fitzpatrick with the Steelers. He's always consistent, always so solid. We know the overhaul that it took to get him from Miami to Pittsburgh, and that Pittsburgh defense is always stout. Mike Tomlin is always leading that group of men to be successful, and I think it's absolutely crazy the fact of Pittsburgh and the winning seasons that they've had, and can only imagine how that's going to improve when they get a new quarterback. At 5, Justin Simmons, and this could possibly be low for Justin Simmons. If you want to argue with this, that's completely fine. Go in the comments and share where you would like to have him or any of the guys. If you agree, feel free to share that you agree too. We always appreciate the love here at Since the Sandbox, but that Denver Broncos defense is really good. Justin Simmons is really good, and we're going to be seeing a lot of him for some time to come. Let's see that Denver team get some more pieces, improve on the offensive side of the ball. And it's going to be interesting to see how that division works with the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Chargers, and the Broncos. At 4, this can be a slept-on name, but this guy is a stud. If you don't know him, you need to know him. Jeremy Chin. Guys, the Panthers' defense wasn't great this year. That's not a secret to anybody, but they have 2 bright spots. I'm going to shout out Jeremy Chin here because he's one of them, and another one we'll hear in our later positional top 10 rankings. At 3, Budda Baker. We just saw his injury last week in the wild card round. Pretty devastating, but the growth of Buda Baker, the speed, the versatility, the coverage, and the importance to what he is in that locker room. I mean, it's irreplaceable. Having a key defender like Buda Baker, Chandler Jones, Isaiah Simmons, and that defense is just getting better. So hopefully, the Cardinals team will be more prepared next year to take better steps forward. At 2, I have Darwin James, and guys, you can argue him at 1, but the guy at 1 is making plays in the regular season. He's making plays at the cornerback position, the safety position, even sometimes as a linebacker, whether that's regarding wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, you name it, he can do it. Darwin James at 2, but Kevin Byard of the Tennessee Titans here at 1. I mean, Kevin Byard's been so slept on. The Titans have locked him up, and I actually can't believe that Titans defense lost to the Bengals because they played so good. Ryan Tannehill, man, got to do better. Can't start that game, a playoff game, with a pick. You can't end it the way you did. I don't think Derrick Henry looked fully healthy, but not shifting the blame on Derrick Henry. Kevin Byard, make sure you're leading that defense next year along with Harold Landry and Jeffrey Simmons, who are all over the field, all over Burrow. Sacking him 9.5 times. That's absolutely crazy that they lost the game when they're sacking him 9.5 times. Well, guys, this was my positional top 10 rundown of the safety position. Next up on our positional top 10, you guys are going to hear the cornerback position. Who's guarding your favorite wide receivers, the best wide receivers in the NFL? And where did I really rank these guys? Make sure to stay tuned to find out. We have a bunch of episodes coming to you at Since the Sandbox this week. Make sure to show some love, like, subscribe, follow, get your Born and Raised in Eastie shirt. And shout out to my guy Anthony from the Beyond Podcast. Peace out.
For all things great iron and hard top, it's Kevlu and Since the Sandbox.